Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to explain and practically demonstrate handling exceptions using try-catch blocks in Java. So let's get started. In Java, there is only one way to handle the exceptions. In Java, we have only one way to handle the exceptions. That is by using the try-catch blocks. In Java, there is only one way to handle the exceptions. That is by using try catch blocks. Are there any other ways of handling the exceptions apart from the try catch blocks in Java? The answer is no. There is only one way that is possible in Java to handle the exceptions. That is by only using try catch blocks. Apart from that, we don't have any other solutions in Java to handle the exceptions. Remember that. But first of all, to handle the exceptions, we need to understand what is an exception. Already I covered in the previous session. Exception is nothing but a runtime error. Exception is nothing but a runtime error. This concept related to exception I already covered in the previous session. So, and what will happen when you don't handle the exception? The execution of the program this is also I covered in the previous session itself. Okay, so what is an exception is nothing but a runtime error. On running the code, if you are getting some error in the output, that error in other words is called as a runtime error, and that is an exception. When such kind of exceptions occurs while running the code, the program will stop. The program will stop running. Where it will stop the running? Even though there are so many lines to complete, the program will stop running at the line where the exception has occurred in the code. What about the remaining lines of the code which are there in the code after the line, where the exception has occurred in the code? They will not run, right? What will happen? They are not going to run. The remaining lines of code will not get executed. But what if there is a requirement where you want to run the remaining parts of the code? Okay, even after the exception occurs in the code, without the programming getting stopped, okay, without the program execution getting stopped, if you still want to run the remaining lines of the code, that's where handling the exceptions come into picture. That's where we have to handle the exception. If you don't handle the exceptions, the program will stop running at the line where the exception got occurred in the code, and remaining lines of code after that particular line won't get executed. But if you still want the remaining lines of the code after the exception get run, then you have to handle the exception. Okay, then you have to handle the exception that occurred in the code. But how to handle the exception? Only one way is there in Java to handle such kind of exceptions. Okay, any type of exceptions, if you want to handle in Java, there is only one way. There is no multiple ways. That only one way is by using try catch blocks. By using try catch blocks. But how to use this try catch blocks? So here is the syntax of the try catch block, guys. Here is the syntax of the try catch block. So whatever the line of code, okay, whatever the lines of code which are giving you the exception that you have to provide inside the try block, okay, code giving exception, or code that may give you an exception on running the code, okay, that code you have to surround with try block. And here we have to write the catch block like this. You have to write the catch block. So if you get an exception here, you'll be taken to the catch block. If you get in any of this particular line which is surrounded by a try block, if you get an exception, instead of the program getting stopped, the control will be taken to the catch block. Here, we can write something like exception E or something, and we can handle the exception here. We can write the code for handling the exception here. So let me demonstrate this practically, guys. Okay, how to use the syntax of the try catch block. Let me demonstrate this practically so that you'll understand it better. So in one of the previous sessions where I covered what is an exception, and I explained exception with this example, right? This particular example Java code, I covered that. So if I run this particular code, in case the user will give positive input like let's say 9, 2, will not get any exception because you are dividing the 9 by 2 in this example. So 9 divided by 2, not a problem. You can divide a number by another number. And how many times the 2 can divide 9? 4 times. All these concepts I covered in the previous session. So into the C, 4 will be stored and 4 will be printed end of the program. Because there is no exception coming, there is no need of using try catch block at this point of time. But when I run the code, this program may result in an exception because of the input given by the user. For example, if the user is giving 9 as a first number and 0 as a second number, when I press enter, you see you are trying to divide a number with a 0. That is not possible in Java. Java is going to give a runtime exception. Okay, runtime error, that is arithmetic exception or exception will come in the output. So in the line 15, you are going to get an exception, and the remaining lines of the code after the line 15 won't get executed because of that problem. You see, when I press enter, the program has stopped at the 15th line. After 15th line, the remaining lines of the code has not got executed. The last line of the code, you see, it need to print end of this program, right? It need to print end of this program, or it need to print C. Didn't happen here because the program got stopped at this particular line of code. At this particular 15th line, program got stopped because of an exception got occurred. The remaining lines of the code didn't get executed. So how to overcome this problem? What if, despite of getting this kind of exception by giving the input as 9 0, still after giving this 9 and 0 as a input to this particular program, still I want the code to run till the end of the code. Okay, I want the program to be executed till the end. What to do for that? I need to handle this particular exception. Whatever the exception that is coming here, I need to handle it. So what is the way of handling this particular exception? Which line is giving the exception? 15th line. So surround that 15th line with a try block first, like this. Surround that 15th line with a try block. Okay. Surround this 15th line with try block, and you write down the catch block. At the end of the try block, you write the catch block like this, catch block. Now, if this particular line will result in an exception, the control will go to the catch block, and here we need to write the code for handling the exception. Okay, whatever the code that you want to run, whether you want to print something or whatever you want to do, that you write here. So here, if you get an exception in the try block, the control will go to the catch block. Instead of the program getting stopped like this, here try block will, capture the exception, whatever that is thrown here, and will take the control to the catch block. So here, how to capture that particular exception? Here, which exception is coming? Arithmetic exception is coming, right? So if I don't provide the try catch block here, which exception is coming? Arithmetic. Copy that arithmetic exception and provide it here in the catch block. And after that, let's say this is a class. For this, you declare a particular object reference using this class. You just name this object reference as anything. I'm just giving E here. I'm declaring that E with the kind of exception that we may expect here. Now, after doing that, simply put system.out.println arithmetic. Otherwise, simply write down exception got. I'm just writing some dummy code here, okay? Got handled here. Exception got handled here. I'm writing, that's it. Just by providing this, just by surrounding that particular line which may cause an exception inside the try block, and what if the exception comes, I will be taking that to the catch block. Now here, without calculating this, the value of this, okay, if really an exception comes, if an exception comes, the control will go to the catch block and there is no way of printing the C, right? So I'll also put this particular C because this is related to this statement, right? I'll surround this two statements with the try block itself. There is no need of running this. If there is an exception here, there is no need of running this particular line, right? There's no need of. If exception doesn't occur, we can run this line. If the exception occurs, we have to immediately take you to the catch block, and there is no need of printing C because the result won't be there. 9 divided by 0, 9 divided by 0 will not result in any result in Java. It will give an error. So there is no need of printing C in case of exception. That's why I'm combining these two statements here. And what if I give proper input here and the exception doesn't come, this line also will get executed and control will not go to the catch block. Okay. Now let me run this code. I'll show you the positive case first. 9, 2, 9 and 2 I'll give. 9 will go into A, 2 will go into the B, 9 divided by 2, 2 4s are 8. That 4 will go into C. Here exception is not coming in this line. Since exception is not there in C, 4 will be stored and we'll be printing C here. That is 4 will be printed. Will we go to the catch block in this positive case? Since the exception has not come, catch block will be ignored. This code inside the catch block or catch block won't get run. Simply we'll go to the next line and end of this program will be printed. You see, 4 will be printed here, and after that end of this program will be printed. But what if there is an exception? What if there is an exception here? 9, 0 if I give, into the A, 9 will go, into the B 0 will go. 9 divided by 0 is not possible because in Java you cannot divide any number with 0. So this will give you an error because an exception will come at this line because it's not possible to divide a number with 0. This line will give you a runtime error or exception. And instead of stopping the program, the control will go to the catch block. The control will go to the catch block, guys. If there is an error or exception here, the control will go to the catch block. And here, the appropriate exception will be handled. You see, whatever the exception will be thrown, it will be thrown as an object of the arithmetic exception that will be stored into this A. Here, which type of runtime error or exception will come? Here, arithmetic exception will come. Arithmetic exception is a class, predefined class in Java. So whenever there is an exception that occurs in this particular line, it will throw an object of that exception. So it will throw an object of the arithmetic exception that can be stored into this E, right? Because E is declared with, to this particular E, we can assign like this, right? E is equal to new arithmetic, for example, I'm just writing arithmetic exception. Like this object can be assigned, right? The object of the arithmetic exception can be assigned to the object reference of the arithmetic exception. So here, whenever this particular line will result in exception, it will throw an object of that exception class in Java. That is, in this case, arithmetic exception will come in the output. We already know that. So object of that arithmetic exception predefined class will be thrown when an exception occurs here. That object, since the control will be taken to the catch block, that object of the arithmetic exception will be stored into this E, which is declared with the arithmetic exception class again. So it's possible to store the object of the arithmetic exception in the object reference of the arithmetic exception. So the catch block will be accepted and will go into the catch block, and exception got handled will be printed here. Since the exception got handled here in the catch block, the remaining lines of the code in the program, that is end of this program, will also run. Despite of getting the exception, we will be able to handle the exception in the catch block and end of this program will be printed. Press enter, you see, exception got handled. Here, despite of we getting the exception in this particular line, the program execution has continued. The program execution has continued. So what do you want to do when an exception occurs is up to you guys. Here I'm writing a simple print statement to demonstrate in this session. So other ways of, writing something inside the catch block, I'm going to cover in the upcoming sessions. But for now, I just have written a simple print statement. When an exception occurs, will be simply taken to the catch block. How will be taken? Here, object of the arithmetic exception will be thrown in this line. That can be stored into the object reference of arithmetic exception. That's why we have in the catch block, we have to create an object reference of a particular exception type. Okay. So then catch block will be taken into consideration and control will come to the catch block. And here, whatever the code you write for handling the exception, that will execute. Here, we are simply printing the thing like exception got handled here. So now the program will not stop because of you handling the exception. The program execution will not stop at this particular line where we got the exception. Rather, it will continue with the next remaining lines of the code. So end of this program also will got printed. This is a proof that by handling the exception, the remaining lines of the code in the program also is getting executed. Okay. So this is what is exception handling, guys. Okay. There is only one way of handling the exceptions in Java, that is by using the try catch blocks. I'll explain this concept more in detail in the upcoming sessions on what kind of code we can write in the catch block for handling the exceptions. I'm going to cover in the upcoming sessions in a detailed manner. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye.